This is the world where the atomic age begins 20 years early, a world where nuclear physics advances before the rise of fascism, before global alliances solidify, and before anyone understands how close humanity is to catastrophe. In 1922, a discovery sets off a chain reaction that reshapes everything, from diplomacy and warfare to global power and human survival. This is a realistic alternate history. What if nuclear weapons were discovered before World War II? Our timeline diverges on a quiet winter evening in Copenhagen, 1922. Niels Bohr and a young Leo Szilard publish a paper outlining neutron-induced chain reactions. Their mathematics suggest that splitting the atom could release unimaginable energy. At first, the world sees the discovery as an academic curiosity, but physicists across Europe and North America immediately sense its implications. Within months, laboratories race to replicate the findings. By 1924, 5 nations—Britain, France, Germany, Japan, and the United States—fund new research programs into what scientists call super energy reactions. No one thinks about weapons yet. No one imagines war. They see only a scientific frontier waiting to be explored. For the next few years, progress is steady but contained. Most experiments revolve around generating heat or electricity using fission reactions. Then, in 1927, Enrico Fermi performs a demonstration that changes the world. Using neutron bombardment, he produces a miniature runaway reaction. The device nearly overheats, and the Italian government quietly intervenes. What was previously academic now looks like power, literal and political. In public, reports describe remarkable energy yields. In private, military observers take notes. By the end of the decade, every major power fund's classified research. They don't fully understand the bomb, but they understand the potential. As authoritarian regimes rise in Europe and Asia, fission research begins drifting towards secrecy. Germany consolidates its scientists under the new Reich Research Ministry. Laboratories once open to international collaboration are now guarded. Japan diverts naval resources to its own atomic studies, focusing on portable reactors and naval propulsion. The Soviet Union launches a vast program led by young physicist Igor Kurchatov. Though they lack resources at first, they compensate with determination and espionage. Meanwhile, the United States, the country with the most potential, lags behind. The Great Depression wipes out scientific budgets. American research remains theoretical while Europe accelerates. By 1933, the first major intelligence failures begin. French and British diplomats report that Germany is pouring resources into energy reaction devices. The Soviets intercept German documents, accelerating their own work. Mistrust spreads. For the first time, nations worry not about armies or fleets, but laboratories. In 1935, a single event shocks the world. France unveils an atomic boiler capable of producing unprecedented electrical output. It is the first public proof that chain reactions can be controlled and scaled. Crowds celebrate a scientific milestone. But inside European war ministries, alarm bells ring. If peaceful reactions can be harnessed, so can violent ones. The demonstration ignites a race, no longer hypothetical, no longer academic. France accelerates. Germany accelerates faster. Japan expands its naval prototypes. Britain and the United States form a joint research committee, an early version of what would have been the Manhattan Project. By late 1935, nuclear technology is no longer about energy. It is about power. In our timeline, 1936 marks the reoccupation of the Rhineland and the rise of appeasement. In this timeline, appeasement is far more fragile. Germany threatens to annex Austria in early 1936, but European nations hesitate to tolerate expansion because no one knows how close Germany is to weaponizing fission. Diplomats quietly confess, a nation with atomic supremacy could dominate the continent. Europe becomes a powder keg, but not the kind we know. Instead of armies along borders, intelligence agents infiltrate labs, mines, and industrial shipments. Uranium becomes the most valuable material in the world. This is the point where war in Europe becomes possible years earlier than in our reality. But the fear of an atomic advantage restrains every power. The world changes forever on April 12th, 1937. Soviet scientists detonate a crude fission device in the Kazakh steppe. The explosion is small, less than the largest conventional bombs, but unmistakably atomic. Seismic stations across Asia and Europe detect the blast. Atmospheric radiation levels spike. The Soviet Union announces it possesses an energy weapon. They don't reveal that the device cannot be delivered by aircraft, nor that it was unstable and nearly killed the entire research team. But perception is enough. The world understands that atomic weapons, once theoretical, are now real. Germany halts its plans in Austria. Japan slows its expansion into northern China. France and Britain pour money into nuclear research. What could have been the beginning of World War II becomes something else entirely. A temporary, uneasy atomic stalemate. By 1938, the world has avoided war, but it has not found peace. Germany is now desperate to catch up. Its scientists work under tremendous pressure, racing to match the Soviet test. Japan focuses on mini-reactors for naval warfare. France and Britain share uranium sources in Africa, strengthening their partnership. The United States, finally recognizing the threat, launches massive industrial programs to close the gap. Instead of tanks in Poland, the late 1930s become a quiet war of espionage. Laboratories are infiltrated, or shipments are sabotaged, scientists disappear, research data is stolen, rewritten, or destroyed. Human intelligence, not armies, defines global strategy. This period becomes known as the Atomic Cold Peace, a frozen, fragile era where war is unthinkable but distrust is universal. As the 1940s begin, the geopolitical landscape is radically different. No global war has erupted, but the world is deeply militarized and divided into atomic blocs. Germany. On the brink of completing its first deliverable weapon, its ambitions shift from territorial conquest to political influence. It uses intimidation and propaganda instead of invasion. The Soviet Union rides the prestige of the first atomic test. It expands its sphere through political pressure instead of open conflict. Japan chases naval supremacy with experimental nuclear-powered vessels and small fission charges for anti-fleet use. Britain and France build a shared deterrent, fearing both Germany and the USSR. The United States transforms into an industrial giant, accelerating reactor technology and delivery systems. By 1943, two nations, the USSR and Germany, likely have deliverable atomic weapons. Britain and the United States are close. Japan is not far behind. A war has been delayed, but the world is more explosive than ever. Without the devastation of World War II, borders stay mostly intact, but humanity pays another price. Because atomic weapons appear without Hiroshima or Nagasaki, the world has no visceral memory of nuclear destruction. No global taboo, no horror to restrain decision-makers. Proliferation accelerates. More nations pursue the bomb. Miscalculation becomes a daily fear. Humanity avoided a global war, but entered an atomic age without the wisdom to handle it. This alternate history offers no triumphs, only trade-offs. War was prevented, but danger multiplied. Peace was achieved, but through fear, not diplomacy. Humanity advanced faster, but with less restraint. The early discovery of nuclear weapons didn't create a safer world. It created a world where the fuse was lit decades earlier. A world living in the shadow of a bomb that no one had yet seen, but everyone feared might come. This is the story of the atomic age before World War II. A different world, but one that could have existed.